Everything, Natalya.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
It's my pleasure. I've been a fan for many years now. So obviously this is an interview about WWE Superstar Spectacle. But when I told our readers that I would be talking to you, everybody had one question to start off with, which is that we saw Edge return. We saw, Daniel Bryan was told he'd never wrestle again, and he returned. Can we see the same thing with TJ as well?
Ooh, that's a great question. TJ was so loved and so respected by people backstage and and in front of the camera. But I think I'm one of those people where I say never. But I feel like he's at a point in his life, especially with his health, where he's really content with where he's at as far as not returning to the ring. I still say never. Anything in WWE can happen. That's the fun part of WWE, is that you can always expect the unexpected. But it's hard to say. I think TJ's injury was so different than Edge, and it was so different than Daniel Bryan. His injury was, his neck was broken at the base of his brain. So it's a much different injury, and it's much more risky for him to return. So he's just very lucky that he's alive and he's well. So, but thank you so much. I'll tell him that you guys are thinking of him.
Everybody, like pretty much everybody who reads our this thing, a lot of people poured in, and they all love him as they love you. WWE Superstar Spectacle is on the horizon. You are teaming up with Bayley to take on Sareen Sanzu and Charlotte Flair. What can fans in India expect?
Oh, I'm so excited for the Superstar Spectacle. Especially since I had that. I mean, the Great Khali is one of my closest friends in wrestling. And we had that partnership with WWE when I used to manage him. So he's somebody that's super proud of his Indian descent, and I was super close to him, so I was able to witness that. Being a part of the Superstar Spectacle for me is huge. Teaming up with Bayley, we take on Charlotte Flair and Serena. It's huge. And we understood, especially as the women of WWE, top females in the WWE, we understood the magnitude that this event has, or that this event will have in India. And we went out there and we left it all in the ring. And it was so special to be able to work with the best of the best in WWE, but also Serena, who was trained by the same person that trained Bayley. Okay. So it was really cool. And she was really cool. And again, it just reminded me so much of how much I love our fans over in India and how special this is going to be for them.
And you're teaming up with Bayley. We all thought that Bayley is going to be the next John Cena. That obviously did not happen. What do you think of Evil Bayley, and how do you think this is the best version of Bayley that we've seen so far?
I think it's cool to see the evolution of Bayley. I think that's the fun part of being in WWE, is watching different characters, different people, men and women, evolve and change and grow and really reach their fullest potential. And it's cool to see that with Bayley. Like, the one thing I really love about Bayley, and this is kind of, breaking character and I guess sort of off the record, but nothing's really ever off the record. The one thing I love about Bayley is that she is always about the big picture. She's always about what is going to make this match great. She doesn't just think about herself. She thinks about the entire picture. She's such a professional that way. And I appreciate that very much. Because she understands what it's like to start from nothing and really work your way through every phase in WWE, from being unknown to barely being signed to all of a sudden, trying to find her way, trying to find her voice in NXT, and then all of a sudden being able to show this different side of herself, which, in this bad girl character that she's playing right now in WWE, I think she's really come into her own, which I'm really proud of her.
And speaking of Bayley, we saw Bayley and Bianca in in an obstacle course where Bianca Belair carried Otis on her shoulder. What did you think of that moment?
It reminded me of the time that I had Nia Jax on my shoulders for the Royal Rumble. Yes. I almost eliminated Nia with that. And I thought, because Otis is not small. I mean, I think Otis and Nia might be comparable as far as just like, man, they're both larger than life. But when I saw Bianca have Otis on her shoulders, I thought, wow, that's really cool. Like, she's a really strong girl. And I think it's important for women around the world to see somebody like Bianca and go, wow, women can be strong, they can be powerful, they can be anything that they want to be. And there's no boundaries, there's no barriers. And it's cool to see Bianca's strength like that. So yes, I thought that was awesome. And I'm all about strong women. So go Bianca.
Okay. Okay. So I have been doing this for 5 years now. And I mean, it came as a shock when Luke Harper, Brodie Lee passed away. And I loved your tribute to him, the article that you wrote. That was incredible. Uh, Again, our readers wanted to know, do you have any stories about backstage interactions with him, or anything you'd like to share about him?
Oh, Brodie was just so loved by everybody, and in and out of WWE, he was just like, everybody has a great story about Brodie. It's still, you know, I know it's been a few weeks since he's passed away, but it's been something that all of us, my husband, myself, my family, we're all still struggling to wrap our heads around it. Our WWE family, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like he's gone. Like it's just very, it's very surreal. And when I think about Brodie, I think about his family. And I remember there is a story that I have. It was from Rochester, New York. That's actually Brodie's hometown. And he wasn't actually booked on a live event that they were having there. And he asked WWE management, he's like, I know I'm not booked on the live event, but I think he was coming back from an injury and they were waiting to clear him and he was waiting to get back into the mix on TV. But he said, you know, I really want to do this show because my son wants to watch me wrestle. So WWE put him on the show, and like, he did the show just so that his son could watch him wrestle. Like, he did everything for his family. And I remember his son, Brodie Jr., running up to him after the match. And Brodie's wife was there, Amanda was there. And, you know, it was just like, it was such a proud moment for him because I think he did everything for his family and he wanted to make them so proud. So I remember that very clearly. He was just an awesome human.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that.